My name is Frances Holbrook. I'm 32 years old. Last Tuesday, my 8-year-old daughter came home from my sister-in-law's house, wearing a pink bucket hat she'd never owned. Lily held the brim with both hands. She wouldn't look at me. I crouched down and smiled. "Cute hat, baby. Where'd you get it?" "Nothing." "Lily, take off the hat for me." I lifted it gently. Her auburn curls, 14 inches of thick, spiraling red, were gone, hacked to uneven tufts. Close to the scalp on one side, jagged on the other. Above her right ear, a 2-inch cut, crusted with dried blood. In the plastic bag she carried, her braid, wrapped in a tissue. Like a souvenir. Auntie said my hair wasn't fair to Chloe and made me wear this all day. What I did over the next 72 hours cost me my in-laws, nearly cost me my marriage, and dismantled the only extended family my daughter had ever known. I would do every single part of it again. Welcome back to Calm Drama Stories. This is where real family situations meet real consequences. No shouting matches, no fantasy revenge, just what actually happens when a quiet person stops staying quiet. If this one hits close to home, drop a comment below and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what comes next. I should back up. I entered the foster system at 6. My parents died in a highway pileup outside Akron. A Tuesday in January. Black ice. 3 cars. I went to my first foster home that Friday. Then a second. Then a third. Nobody was cruel. Nobody stayed. By 17, I'd aged out of the system with a GED, a duffel bag, and a very clear understanding of one thing. I would build my own stability, brick by brick, and nobody would take it from me. I worked nights at a gas station, studied days, earned my nursing degree at 22 from a state school that cost me $41,000 in loans. Got hired at a community hospital in pediatrics. I was good at it. Sick kids don't care about your backstory. They care whether you're steady. I met Daniel Holbrook when he brought his sister Megan into the ER for a sprained wrist. He was 25, tall, kind, embarrassed about his parking job. He asked me out in the hallway while Megan was getting x-rayed. I said yes before he finished the sentence. We married when I was 23. I'd saved $42,000 by then, every dollar tracked, and put it down on a small house on Ridgewood Lane. My name, my down payment, our home. Lily came a year later, red hair from somewhere deep in whatever gene pool I'd never get to trace, wild curls that corkscrewed in the humidity. She looked nothing like Daniel's side. When Patricia, Daniel's mother, held Lily for the first time at the hospital, she studied the baby's face and said, "She looks nothing like a Holbrook." I smiled. I thought she meant it as a compliment. I was wrong about that. I was wrong about a lot of things that year. Holidays were the hardest and the best. In foster care, holidays meant watching other families through windows. At the Holbrook table, I had a seat. It wasn't a good seat, and nobody passed me things without being asked, but it existed. Patricia wrote place cards in calligraphy every Thanksgiving. Mine always said Frances, not Frances Holbrook, just Frances. Like a guest who might not return. But Lily had cousins. Lily had a grandmother who bought her birthday presents. Always practical, never quite right, but wrapped in paper with a bow. Lily had Sunday roasts and Easter egg hunts and a stocking at the Holbrook fireplace with her name in glitter glue. I would have sat at the end of 100 tables to keep that for her. The Holbrook family operated on a simple principle. Patricia decided, and everyone complied. She was 61, widowed 8 years. She lived alone in a 4-bedroom colonial on Maple Drive that she kept like a museum. Plastic on the sofa, no shoes past the foyer, Sunday dinners mandatory. Miss a Sunday, and you'd hear about it for the next 4. Daniel was her younger child. Quiet, reliable, the one who mowed her lawn and fixed her gutters. He loved his mother the way soldiers love chain of command. Not always willingly, but deeply. Megan was the older one, 35, divorced, raising 9-year-old Chloe alone. 3 years back, she'd lost her job at a marketing firm and announced she was pivoting to content creation. Patricia wrote her a check for $12,000. Ring lights, A camera. Editing software. An investment, Patricia called it. Megan has always been the creative one. Megan's Instagram, @MeganMakesItWork, sat at 78,000 followers. Her niche was the aspirational single mom. Meal prep Sundays, Chloe in matching outfits, real talk captions about doing it all. The comments were kind. The sponsorships paid just enough. And me? I sat at the end of the table every Sunday, not because there were no other seats. Patricia set my plate there. Every week. Farthest from her. Closest to the kitchen. Francis, could you grab more bread? Francis, the gravy's getting cold. Francis, you don't mind, do you? I never minded. That was the deal I'd made with myself. Any family, even one that seated you by the door, was better than no family. Lily deserved cousins. Lily deserved Sunday dinners and holiday traditions and a grandmother who remembered her birthday. Patricia called Lily the redhead. Every time. Not Lily, not sweetheart. The redhead. She'd say it the way you might describe a feature on a house you're considering buying, not with dislike, but without attachment. How's the redhead doing in school? The redhead's gotten tall. I told myself it was a term of endearment. I told myself a lot of things that year. I believed it all completely. Right up until I didn't. Here's what you need to understand about Megan's account. It wasn't a hobby. It was an identity. 3 months before the spa day, her engagement dropped 40%. Her juice sponsor pulled out. A children's clothing boutique stopped answering emails. 78,000 followers, and the algorithm had moved on. So Megan tried something new. She started a series called Cousin Glow Up, Lily and Chloe doing hair, trying outfits, mini makeovers. Harmless, right? The first video tripled her usual views. Comment sections lit up, but not the way Megan wanted. OMG, the redhead is stunning. Chloe's cute, but that other girl is a whole model. More of the curly-haired one, please. I watched Megan delete those comments in real time. She'd sit on Patricia's couch during Sunday dinners, phone in hand, thumb swiping. Delete, delete, delete. Then the framing changed. Lily appeared from the neck down. Lily wore hats. Lily stood behind Chloe. The camera angle shifted so you could barely see the red curls. Once, I opened Megan's story and Chloe was sitting in front of the ring light at home. Just sitting there, staring at it, alone. The child lived inside her mother's frame. I mentioned it casually to Daniel. I'd rather Lily's face not be on Megan's account. He relayed it to Megan. She texted me directly. It's family content, Francis. Relax. Patricia called the same evening. Megan's hurt that you don't support her business. She's doing this for Chloe. Can't you be a team player? I dropped it. The way I always dropped things. The way foster kids learn to drop things. Quietly. Quickly. Because making noise means getting moved. That instinct kept me safe for 26 years. It almost destroyed my daughter. I should mention one more thing about the Cousin Glow Up series. The third episode, the one before the spa day, had 42,000 views. Megan's best performing video in 8 months. In the comments, someone wrote, "The redhead's hair is everything. Please do a whole tutorial on those curls." Megan screenshot that comment and sent it to the family group chat with a string of fire emojis. I thought she was proud of Lily. She was counting the views that Lily's hair generated. There's a difference. One is love. The other is inventory. The invitation came on a Thursday. Megan's voice, bright and practiced. Saturday, cousin spa day at my place. Face masks, nail painting, hair braiding. Chloe's been begging for it. Daniel was leaving Friday morning for a 3-day tech conference in Dallas. I'd be pulling a 12-hour night shift at the hospital Saturday into Sunday. I hesitated. Megan noticed. "Francis, come on. It's facials and glitter polish. The girls will love it." Patricia called 30 minutes later, right on schedule. "Let the girls have fun, Francis. Don't be that mother." Don't be that mother. 4 words that have kept more women quiet than any threat ever could. I said yes. Saturday morning, I drove Lily to Megan's house. 10 a.m. sunny. Chloe was already on the porch waving. Inside, I could see face mask packets on the coffee table, nail polish in a row, towels stacked. Everything Instagram ready. Lily unbuckled her seatbelt and ran up the walkway without looking back. Megan met her at the door. Big smile. "We're going to have so much fun." I noticed the ring light. It was already set up in the living room. Tripod beside it. I told myself it was just for fun. "Megan, no posting Lily's face, okay?" She waved a hand. Of course, of course." Lily disappeared inside. The door closed. I sat in the driveway for a moment, keys in my lap, and felt something I couldn't name. Not worry exactly. More like the feeling you get when you hand someone a glass object and watch their grip. I drove home. I went to work. Megan would drop Lily off Sunday morning. That was the plan. Sunday, 11 a.m. I'd been off the night shift for 3 hours. Coffee going cold on the counter. Still in scrubs. Megan's SUV pulled into the driveway. I heard the horn. 2 short taps. The way you announce a delivery, not a daughter. The front door opened. Lily walked in carrying a plastic grocery bag. She was wearing clothes I didn't recognize. Chloe's, one size too big. And on her head, a pink bucket hat pulled low to her eyebrows. "Hey baby, how was spa day?" She shrugged. Wouldn't look up. "Where'd you get the hat?" Her fingers curled around the brim. "Lily, honey, take the hat off for me." I lifted it, gently. The way I removed dressings from a child's wound at work, expecting to see something, but still not ready. Her hair was gone, the curls that fell past her shoulder blades. 14 inches. I knew because we'd measured for fun last month, chopped to ragged clumps. One side shaved close to the scalp. The other left in uneven tufts. Like whoever did it lost patience halfway through. Above her right ear, a 2-inch laceration. Dried blood. Rust brown, in a thin line down to her earlobe. I opened the plastic bag. Inside, her braid. The full, thick, auburn rope of it. Wrapped in a single tissue like a gift. Auntie said my hair wasn't fair to Chloe and made me wear this all day. She said it the way children report facts. No anger, no understanding. Just the words an adult gave her. Repeated perfectly. Like a message in a bottle she didn't know she was carrying. I checked the wound. Clean edges gone ragged where the scissors had twisted. 2 inches, ear to scalp. Not deep enough to stitch, but deep enough to scar. Deep enough that a dull blade on a child's head meant someone pressed down with purpose and lost control. My coffee sat on the counter. Megan's SUV was already gone. The house was so quiet I could hear the kitchen clock. I set the hat on the table. I set the bag beside it. I went to the bathroom and pulled my nursing kit from under the sink. I didn't call the police. I didn't text Daniel. I washed the blood off my daughter's ear with a sterile pad, and I started taking photographs. Nurse mode has a switch. You flip it and everything else goes dark. The anger, the shaking hands, the urge to scream. What's left is procedure. I took 11 photographs. Close-up of the laceration with a plastic ruler beside it for scale. Wide shots showing the pattern of cuts across her scalp. The braid, laid on a white towel, measured at 14¼ inches. Timestamp on every image, natural light from the bathroom window. I wrote down Lily's account in her words, exactly as she said them, on a lined legal pad. Printed my name, dated it, timed it, 12:47 p.m. Then I sealed the braid in a gallon Ziploc bag and wrote evidence on the front with a black Sharpie. I called Elena Marsh. Dr. Marsh, pediatrician, my colleague for 7 years, the person who'd taught me how to spot abuse fractures in toddlers during my 2nd month on the floor. "Elena, I need you to see Lily tonight. Off the record first. On the record tomorrow." Silence. Then, "I'm on my way." In 7 years, I'd never asked Elena for anything outside protocol. She heard it in my voice. I ran a warm bath for Lily, read her 3 chapters of her favorite book, the one about the girl who talks to foxes. Her eyes got heavy. She slid down under the blanket. "Mommy, am I in trouble?" "No, baby, you're the only person in this story who did nothing wrong." She was asleep in 4 minutes. I counted. I sat on the bathroom floor, the Ziploc bag on the counter above me, the pink hat on the kitchen table down the hall, 11 photographs on my phone. I didn't cry. Crying was for later. Right now I had a plan, and the plan needed evidence, and the evidence needed a doctor. Elena's headlights swept the driveway at 9:16. Elena examined Lily while she slept, gently, with the penlight, checking the wound without waking her. She looked at me over the bed. Didn't speak. Didn't need to. Stay with her, I said. I'm going to Megan's. Elena caught my arm. Francis, don't do anything stupid. I'm going to ask for the scissors. I drove 22 minutes. The whole way, my phone sat dark on the passenger seat. No call to Daniel. Not yet. Patricia had a head start on the story, and I needed to see Megan's face before anyone coached her. 9:41 p.m. porch light on. I rang the bell. Megan opened the door in pajamas. Surprised, then guarded. Francis? It's late. I need to see the scissors you used on my daughter's hair. She laughed. Short. Practiced. Oh, come on. It was just a trim that got a little out of hand. The girls were playing salon. A trim doesn't draw blood, Megan. Show me the scissors. Her eyes shifted left. You're overreacting. Patricia said you'd be like this. Already. Patricia already knew, which meant Megan had called her mother before she'd even dropped Lily off. I looked past Megan into the living room. Ring light, still standing. Camera on the tripod, and on the shelf beside the TV, a pair of silver fabric scissors with a wooden handle. Even from 8 feet away, I could see red strands caught in the hinge. I raised my phone and took one photograph. Quick. From the doorway. Are you serious right now? Good night, Megan. I walked back to my car. She was still standing in the doorway when I pulled out. Her face in the rearview mirror looked confused. Confusion doesn't last. On the drive home, I replayed the scene. The ring light. The tripod. The scissors on the shelf with red hair still tangled in the hinge. Megan hadn't cleaned them, hadn't hidden them. Either she didn't think she'd done anything worth hiding or she wanted me to see. Neither explanation made me feel better. By the time I got home, Patricia had already texted. Megan told me you showed up at her house like a crazy person. We need to talk. Sunday dinner tomorrow. I didn't reply. Elena was sitting in my living room, filling out a second form by lamplight. Lily was still asleep. The Ziploc bag with the braid sat on the counter next to Elena's pen, and for a long moment I just stood in the doorway watching the two objects side by side, the medical paperwork and the severed hair, and understanding that this was the before and after of my family, laid out on a kitchen counter at 10:30 on a Sunday night. I had 11 photographs, one more of the scissors, a pediatrician in my living room, and 72 hours before Chloe's birthday party. 7 a.m. Monday. Elena met us at the clinic before it opened. She documented everything under fluorescent light. Wound measured at 2.1 inches. No stitches required, but the cut showed a jagged edge consistent with dull scissors applied with downward force near the scalp. Risk of infection from a non-sterile blade. Elena typed her report while Lily sat on the exam table, swinging her legs, eating a granola bar I'd packed. She had no idea what the forms meant. She thought she was getting a checkup. The report concluded. Laceration consistent with scissors applied with force near the auricular area. Patient reports the injury was inflicted by an adult relative during a supervised visit. Elena signed. Printed 2 copies. Looked at me. You know I have to ask. Do you want me to file with CPS? Not yet. Give me 48 hours. Francis, you know the rules. If this were any other nurse's kid on my table. I know the rules, Elena. That's exactly why I need 48 hours. I need to find out whether he knew. She gave me the copies. She didn't argue. In 7 years, she'd learned when I meant something. I sat in the hospital parking lot and called Daniel. First time since Saturday morning. Hey, babe. Mom told me Lily got a little haircut at Megan's. She said Lily asked for... Daniel. There is a 2-inch cut above your daughter's right ear. There's blood. I have photographs and a medical report from Dr. Marsh. I'm sending them now. Silence. Long. The kind where you can hear someone rearranging their understanding of the world. I'll be home tomorrow night. Good. I hung up. He'd said tomorrow. Patricia had said Sunday dinner. The race to frame the story was already running, and I was one step behind the woman who'd been telling it since Saturday afternoon. Patricia called at 2 p.m. Her voice had the particular sweetness she used when she wanted compliance. Frances, sweetie, I think we need a family conversation before this gets out of hand. Megan is very upset. Megan is upset. She says you showed up at her house and threatened her. That's not what Holbrooks do, Frances. Patricia, your daughter cut my child's hair without permission and drew blood. In this state, that's assault on a minor. The sweetness evaporated. Now you listen to me. Lily told Megan she wanted a haircut. Megan went too far. Fine. But you're not going to turn a family matter into a legal one. It was already a legal matter the moment my daughter came home bleeding. Then she said it. It's just hair, Frances. Stop making this a family crisis. Just hair. 3 syllables that erased a 2-inch wound, a Ziploc bag, 11 photographs, and an 8-year-old's trust. We're done talking, Patricia. I hung up. First time I'd ever ended a call with her. 20 minutes later, 4 text messages, different Holbrook numbers. Patricia's sister. Patricia said you're trying to get Megan arrested? She's a single mom. Daniel's uncle. Can't you just talk it out like adults? A cousin I'd met twice. Think about the kids. Patricia's neighbor. Praying for your family during this difficult time. 4 texts in 20 minutes. She hadn't called them one by one. She'd sent a group message. A broadcast. The narrative was already set. Frances, the ungrateful outsider, the girl with no family of her own, was trying to destroy the family that took her in. I screenshotted every text, saved them in a folder labeled Holbrook. Then I picked Lily up from school, made her mac and cheese, and helped her practice her spelling words. Like a regular Monday. Because that's what she needed it to be. Daniel walked in Tuesday night at 7. Bag still in his hand. Eyes red. He didn't say hello. He walked to where I was sitting at the kitchen table and said, "Show me." I opened my phone. Handed it over. He swiped through the photos. Slowly. His jaw tightened on the 3rd one, the close-up with the ruler. By the 6th, he was breathing through his mouth. "Why didn't you call me right away?" "I called you Monday morning. Your mother called you Saturday night." He set the phone down. He understood. Patricia had gotten there first. Softened the story. Made it a haircut, not an injury. "Look, Megan made a terrible mistake, but can we handle it within the family?" "Daniel, if a stranger at a park did this to Lily, what would you do?" "That's different." "How?" He had no answer. The honest kind of silence. The kind where the person knows what they'd say is indefensible. I laid it out. "Your mother has been calling relatives all day telling them I'm unstable and trying to destroy Megan. I haven't called anyone except Lily's doctor. So you tell me, who's making this a crisis?" His head went into his hands, elbows on the table, the posture of a man caught between the family that raised him and the family he'd built. He stayed there for a long time. "What do you want me to do?" "I want you to look at those photos again. Then I want you to decide whose daughter matters more, yours or your mother's." He flinched. I meant him to. That night, I slept in Lily's room. Her hair was growing back in soft fuzz that caught the nightlight. I lay beside her and opened my laptop. There was something I needed to check. 2 years ago, Megan shared a Google Photos album with the family. Holbrook Memories, she called it. Birthday parties, Thanksgivings, Chloe's soccer games. She'd asked me to add Lily's photos too. For the kids to look back on someday. I'd forgotten about it, but shared access doesn't expire unless someone removes you. I opened the album, scrolled to Saturday's date. 47 new photos. Face masks, nail polish, giggling. Chloe and Lily with cucumber slices on their eyes. Normal, wholesome, content ready. Then photo 38. Lily sitting in a dining chair pushed in front of the ring light. Megan standing behind her, silver scissors in hand, smiling wide, directly at the camera. The tripod was visible in the mirror behind them. Photo 39. The scissors mid-cut. Megan's hand pulling the braid taut, her expression focused. Professional. Like she was filming a tutorial. Photo 40. Lily's face. She wasn't crying. She wasn't smiling. She looked the way children look when an adult is doing something they don't understand, but have been told to hold still for. After photo 40, 6 more had been uploaded and then deleted. The shared album still showed their thumbnails, small, blurry, but visible. Google keeps deleted photos in a recovery folder for 30 days. Even at thumbnail size I could see it. Photo 43. Lily's hand pressed against her ear, a dark smear. The pink bucket hat already on, pulled low. She photographed it. She set up the ring light. She had Chloe watching from the couch. This wasn't a spa day that went wrong. This was a content shoot where the talent bled. I screenshotted every thumbnail, saved the metadata. Timestamps, upload times, deletion times. Then I found the Google Drive. Megan's shared Google Drive folder was labeled Content Drafts. She'd given me access 2 years ago when she'd asked me to review a family montage for Thanksgiving. She'd never removed the share. Inside the folder, sorted by date, dozens of video files, each one titled Dated, formatted for upload. Megan ran a tight operation. The most recent file, Cousin Glow Up _ episode 4 _ final.mp4. Dated Saturday, 4:47 p.m. I pressed play. The video opened on Lily and Chloe in face masks, laughing. Upbeat music. Text overlay. Cousin Glow Up EP4. 3 seconds of Megan's voice. Okay girls, time for the big makeover. Cut to Lily in the chair. Ring light on. Megan brushing Lily's curls slowly, letting the camera catch the color. Voiceover. Lily's got this incredible hair, right? But today we're giving both girls a fresh summer look. Then the scissors appeared. Silver handles. Megan positioned the braid. Smiled at the lens. She cut. She kept cutting. The braid came free in one pull. Megan held it up to the camera like a trophy. Lily sat frozen. At 2 minutes, 14 seconds, the scissors caught the top of Lily's ear. Lily yelped. A small, sharp sound. Megan's hand jerked. Her voice went flat. Oh, whoops, that's just a little nick, sweetie. The video cut to black at 2:18. The rest, the blood, the crying, whatever came after, had been edited out. The file was titled, Exported, rendered in 1080p, ready to post. She only didn't upload it because of the blood. I downloaded the video, saved it to my cloud, backed it up on a thumb drive. On the desk beside my laptop sat the Ziploc bag with the braid. 14 inches of my daughter's hair, sealed in plastic, next to a 3-minute video of the woman who cut it smiling for the camera. I watched the video a third time. Each viewing, something new. The ring light's reflection in Lily's eyes. Megan rehearsing her intro twice. Chloe on the couch in the background, holding a throw pillow against her chest, not moving. And Lily, my Lily, sitting perfectly still because she trusted the adults in the room. I closed the laptop at 1:22 a.m. I didn't sleep. If you're sitting here thinking you would have driven back to that house at 2 in the morning, I understand. But I've worked in pediatrics for 7 years. I've watched cases fall apart because someone reacted before they documented. Evidence vanishes. Stories shift. Witnesses develop amnesia. So if you're the type who knows that patience isn't weakness, hit subscribe. This story is nowhere near finished. Wednesday. Patricia summoned a family meeting at her house. 7 o'clock. Everyone needs to be there. Daniel thought we should go. Let's hear them out. Maybe Megan's ready to apologize. I agreed, but I brought my phone with every screenshot, every timestamp, every photo. Not to show. Not yet. To know I had it. Patricia's living room was arranged like a courtroom. Coffee on the sideboard. Cake. Lemon. Megan's favorite. Uncle Ron and Aunt Deborah on the love seat. Megan on the couch, tissue in hand, eyes already red. Patricia opened. We're all family here. Francis, I know you're upset, but Megan is devastated. She hasn't slept in 3 days. Megan, right on cue. I was just trying to bond with Lily. She said she wanted a new hairstyle, and I went too far. I'm so sorry. She cried. Delicate tears, the kind that don't smudge mascara. Uncle Ron leaned forward. See? She apologized. Let's move past it. Megan, I said quietly. Did Lily ask you to set up a ring light and film it? The room shifted. Megan's tears stopped. Did Lily ask you to title the video Cousin Glow Up Episode 4 and export it for Instagram? How did you... You shared your Google Drive with me 2 years ago. The video is still there. Dated Saturday, 4:47 p.m. Uncle Ron looked at Megan. Aunt Deborah looked at Patricia. Patricia looked at me with something new behind her eyes. Calculation. That doesn't matter, Patricia said. What matters is that an 8-year-old has a laceration on her scalp, and the woman who caused it filmed the entire thing for her social media account. I pulled the pink bucket hat from my bag and set it on the coffee table. She sent my daughter home in this, to hide what she did. Nobody touched it. It sat between the coffee cups like something radioactive. Aunt Deborah set her mug down and moved it away from the hat without thinking. Like proximity itself was dangerous. Uncle Ron cleared his throat. Now, Francis, I'm sure Megan didn't mean... Ron, I said, have you seen the video? He blinked. What video? I looked around the room. Patricia's face was locked. Megan was staring at the carpet. Nobody else had been told about the video. Patricia had controlled the information carefully. The version they'd all received was, Francis is overreacting to a haircut. Ask Megan, I said. Ask her about the video she filmed while she was cutting my daughter's hair. The room turned to Megan. She said nothing. Her tissue was shredded in her lap. Then Patricia said the thing that ended any chance of this staying in the family. Patricia stood up. The calculation had finished. What came out was not grief, not shame. It was a decision. Francis, if you take this outside this family, I will call my lawyer. Daniel has equal custody rights, and I will make sure a judge hears about the kind of mother who turns a haircut into a federal investigation. I will petition for supervised visitation so fast your head will spin. She was threatening to take Lily, not because she believed I was a bad mother, because I was threatening the $12,000 investment sitting on her couch crying into a tissue. The room was frozen. Aunt Deborah's coffee cup halfway to her mouth, Uncle Ron staring at the carpet. Megan whispered, Mom, don't. No, Megan, she needs to hear this. Patricia took a step toward me. We gave her a family. We gave her a name. She was nothing before us. Nothing before us. The words hung in Patricia's living room like smoke. I let them hang. Thank you for being so clear, Patricia. I picked up the pink hat from the coffee table, walked to the front door. Daniel was already behind me. Francis, wait. Let me talk to her. Daniel, your mother just threatened to take my daughter to protect your sister's Instagram account. I looked at him. There is nothing left to talk about. He followed me to the car, didn't say a word the whole drive. At home, Lily was asleep. The babysitter said she'd eaten 2 bowls of soup and drawn a picture of a cat with very long hair. I paid the sitter, locked the door. Then I called Elena Marsh. File the report, tonight. A breath on the other end, then, I'll have it submitted by morning. Patricia wanted this to stay in the family. She made it impossible. Thursday morning, Elena filed the mandatory reporter form with Child Protective Services. Attached, medical report, 11 photographs, written statement from Lily transcribed by me. At 10 a.m., I sat in the office of Sarah Whitfield, 52 years old, family law, referred by the hospital's legal department. Her desk had no personal photos, just files and a coffee mug that said due process. I laid everything out. Photos, medical report, Google Drive video with timestamps, screenshots of deleted thumbnails showing blood, Megan's public Instagram account linked to commercial partnerships. Sarah watched the video twice. The second time she paused at 2:14, the moment the scissors caught Lily's ear and Megan said, Oh, whoops. The laceration alone is borderline for criminal referral, Sarah said. But filming a minor without parental consent for commercial content on a monetized platform, that opens a separate door. How wide? Wide enough for an emergency protective order restricting Megan's unsupervised contact with your daughter. The CPS report gives it weight. File it. Francis, once this is in the system, there's no pulling it back. I know. She nodded, started typing. That evening, I found Daniel on the back porch. He'd been quiet all day, the kind of quiet that means someone is having a conversation with themselves. I need you to decide, not tomorrow. By Saturday. Why Saturday? Because Saturday is Chloe's birthday party. 50 people. A live stream. And your sister sent me an invitation 3 weeks ago. He looked at me. Auntie said my hair wasn't fair to Chloe. I repeated our daughter's exact words. That's what Lily told me, Daniel. Those were the words your sister put in her mouth. He closed his eyes. She really said that? Word for word. CPS contacted Megan that afternoon. Her phone rang 14 times in 1 hour. I know because Daniel's phone rang 14 times too. Thursday night. Megan went live on Instagram. I didn't watch it in real time. A colleague texted me a screenshot. Megan sat in her content chair, ring light on, eyes glistening. Perfect lighting. Some of you may have noticed I've been quiet this week, she said. I'm going through something really hard with a family member. Someone I trusted took a private situation and is trying to turn it into something it's not. She paused, wiped one eye. I'm a single mom. I make mistakes, but I love my niece, and I would never, ever hurt a child. Her followers responded exactly the way an algorithm-trained audience responds to vulnerability. Stay strong, Mama. We believe you. Haters gonna hate. You're an amazing mom. Don't let anyone tell you different. She didn't name me. She didn't have to. In a town of 11,000 people, everyone knew. I got 4 DMs from mutual acquaintances by Friday morning. Megan says you're trying to get her arrested for a haircut? One from a school mom. I've seen you at pickup. You don't seem like the type. But honestly, Francis, this seems extreme. Another from a woman I'd met once at Patricia's Christmas party. You know Megan's barely getting by, right? She depends on that account. I replied to none of them. Not one. Everyone had an opinion. Nobody had asked to see the photos. Nobody had asked how Lily was doing. 4 messages about Megan's feelings. 0 about my daughter's ear. Every nurse learns this. The person who speaks first controls the narrative. The person who speaks last controls the outcome. My only action was a screenshot. Megan's public monetized account, the same one that commercially exploited my daughter's image, was now posting tearful content about an active CPS investigation. I forwarded it to Sarah Whitfield with one line. She's using her commercial platform to shape public opinion about an open case. Sarah wrote back, save everything. This actually helps. 2 days. Chloe's birthday party was Saturday at 2 p.m. 50 guests, a live stream, and an invitation still hanging on my refrigerator, held up by a magnet shaped like a sunflower. Friday morning, I dropped Lily at school. Her teacher, Mrs. Porter, caught me in the hallway. Mrs. Holbrook, can I speak with you? She pulled me into the empty classroom. Lily told the class about her haircut yesterday. She showed them her ear. She said her auntie did it. I waited. I filed a report with administration. I wanted you to know. Thank you. Mrs. Porter touched my arm. She also said, and I'm quoting, my mom took pictures so nobody forgets what happened. I just want you to know your daughter trusts you completely. I made it to the car before my hand started shaking. 7 days of steady. 7 days of nurse mode. Mrs. Porter's sentence cracked it for about 90 seconds. Then I put the car in drive. At the hospital, 2 colleagues, Dara and Kim, both floor nurses I'd worked with for years, found me in the break room. Elena told us, we saw Megan's Instagram post. What do you need? 2 things. Witnesses who can confirm Lily's injury on the record if it ever comes to that. And someone to watch her Saturday afternoon. Dara pointed at herself. Kim nodded. At 4 p.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Francis, this is Janet Pruitt. I live next door to Patricia. I knew Janet. 58. 4 grown kids. Attended the same church as Patricia. I'd spoken to her maybe 5 times in 9 years. Patricia's been telling everyone in the neighborhood you're mentally unstable and trying to ruin Megan's life. I want you to know. I don't buy it. And I'll be at that birthday party tomorrow. Janet, when you're there, I may ask you to look at something. Honey, I raised 4 kids and buried a husband. You don't have to explain a thing. For the first time in a week, I exhaled all the way. Friday night, Lily in bed. Daniel and I at the kitchen table with the overhead light and nothing else. My mom called again. He said it flat, tired. She says if you go to that party tomorrow, she'll call the police for harassment. I was invited, 3 weeks ago, by your sister. I know. He pulled out his phone, set it on the table between us. I watched the video. My chest went tight. When? This afternoon. Mom kept saying it was photos, fun photos. She told me you were twisting everything. So I opened the drive folder myself. He was staring at the table. I watched my sister cut our daughter's hair while smiling at a camera, Francis. I watched her hold the braid up like she'd won something. And I called Mom. I told her I saw the video. She said. He stopped, started again. You shouldn't have been looking through Megan's private files. I let that sit. That's her answer, Daniel. Your daughter is bleeding in a video, and your mother's concern is that you saw it. He wiped his face. Rough, like he was trying to rearrange it. I'm coming with you tomorrow. Are you sure? Because once we walk in there, you can't take it back. I should have said something Monday. I should have said it Saturday when Mom called me in Dallas. I believed her because I always believe her, and His voice broke. I'm sorry. He put his hand on the table, palm up. I didn't take it. Not yet. But I didn't pull away. Some things you rebuild 1 inch at a time, the same way hair grows back. We sat like that for a long time. The kitchen clock ticked. Saturday was 12 hours away. Saturday, 9 a.m. party at 2. I showered, put on a plain blue blouse and dark jeans. No jewelry. No makeup beyond what I'd wear to the grocery store. I wasn't putting on a show. I was delivering a file. From the printer, 3 copies of Elena's medical report. 3 sets of key screenshots. The Google Drive video file with its title and timestamp. The deleted photo thumbnails. The Instagram story where Megan positioned herself as the victim. Each set in a clear plastic sleeve, all 3 inside a manila folder. On top, the CPS case number, redacted, printed on hospital letterhead. Not to threaten, to confirm this was already in the system, and no amount of Sunday dinner diplomacy would undo it. Lily was going to Dara's house. I packed her a bag, books, swimsuit, her stuffed rabbit. She stood in the doorway while I zipped it. Is Auntie Megan going to be mad at me? I knelt, looked her in the eye. Nobody gets to be mad at you for having your own hair. Nobody. Ever. She nodded. Serious. Then, can Dara make waffles? I already asked her. She said yes. Dara picked Lily up at 11. Lily waved from the back seat. I waved back. Daniel was already in the car. Engine running. I got in, put the manila folder on my lap. It weighed almost nothing. 1 folder, 12 printed pages. A story told in timestamps, measurements, and medical terminology. We drove 18 minutes to Patricia's house in silence. The radio was off. The windows were up. Daniel kept both hands on the wheel. You don't have to say anything, I told him. Just stand next to me. I'll be there. I believed him. For the first time in 6 days, I believed him. Patricia's backyard looked like a catalog. Pink and purple balloons tied to every fence post. A banner across the porch. Happy 9th birthday, Chloe. A long table draped in white with a 3-tier cake at the center. Streamers, confetti, 50-some guests milling around with paper plates. And the ring light. Set up near the cake table, Megan's phone on a tripod, red recording dot already blinking. She was live streaming the party. Megan spotted us first. Her face did something fast. Surprise, then anger, then the smile that paid her rent. Francis, Daniel, so glad you could come. Camera voice. She tilted slightly toward the tripod. Performance. Patricia materialized at the gate. I'm surprised you had the nerve to show up. Mom. Daniel's voice was steady. We're here for Chloe's birthday. Patricia ignored him. Eyes on me. Where's Lily? With a friend. You didn't bring your own daughter to her cousin's birthday party? What kind of... The kind whose daughter still has a wound above her ear, Patricia. She went red. Turned her back. Walked to the cake table. Daniel and I found 2 chairs near the fence. I held the manila folder under my arm, flat against my side. Janet Pruitt was across the yard in a floral blouse. Our eyes met. She nodded once. Small. The way women communicate when they've agreed on something without speaking. Megan was circulating, phone in hand, greeting guests, angling for the camera. Look at this turnout. Chloe, wave to the stream. On the gift table, Megan picked up silver scissors to cut the ribbon off a wrapped box. I recognized them immediately. Same wooden handle, same silver blades, the scissors that had cut my daughter's hair and left blood on her ear. She was using them to open birthday presents. I scanned the yard. Kids chasing each other around the swing set, dads in polo shirts near the grill, moms with wine in plastic cups, Chloe in a purple dress with a tiara, running between groups, collecting compliments. A normal party? A normal Saturday? Except nothing about it was normal. Somewhere in this yard, at least 4 people knew what had happened to Lily. Patricia, Megan, Daniel, me. And the gap between what the crowd believed and what we knew was so wide you could fit every balloon, every streamer, every slice of birthday cake inside it and still have room. My grip tightened on the folder. We're getting to the moment I know you've been waiting for. But real quick. If you've ever sat at a gathering surrounded by people who hurt your child and had to hold yourself together, I see you. If you're still sitting at that table right now, I hope this story gives you permission to stand. Like and subscribe if you're still here. Stick around. What happened at that party rewrote everything. Cake time. Everyone gathered. 50-some adults and kids in a half circle. Patricia lit the candles. Megan held her phone high, live stream plus recording. Make a wish, baby. Chloe blew out 9 candles, cheering, clapping. Patricia wrapped her arm around Megan and squeezed. My girls. My beautiful girls. I clapped too. This was Chloe's day. She hadn't done anything wrong. After the cake was cut and plates were passed, Megan stepped in front of the portable projector she'd set up on the patio table. Screen mounted on the fence. Okay, everyone, I put together a little video montage of Chloe's year. Some of you might recognize a few moments from our fun cousin spa day last weekend. My hand stopped halfway to my mouth with cake on the fork. She pressed play. The montage rolled. Chloe at the beach. Chloe's school play. Chloe and Lily with cucumber face masks, giggles, green goo, harmless. Then Chloe and Lily painting each other's nails. Sweet. Charming. The crowd cooed. Then an 8-second clip. Lily in the chair. Ring light visible. Megan behind her, fingers in Lily's curls, scissors just entering the frame. Text overlay in cursive. Cousin glow up. Coming soon. Ah, a school mom said. That's so cute. They didn't know. None of them knew what happened 4 seconds after that clip ended. Megan was beaming, scanning the crowd for reactions, working the room. I looked at Daniel. He was already looking at me. His jaw was set, his plate abandoned on the chair beside him. He nodded. I set my fork down. I stood up. The chair scraped on the patio stone. 3 people near me turned. Megan saw me standing. Her smile held. But her eyes went fast, left to right, calculating. Francis? Are you okay? Did you want to say something? Actually, yes. I walked toward the projector. Steady. The way I walk into a room when a child is coding. 1 foot, then the other. No rushing. No wasted motion. People stopped talking. Forks paused. 30, 40 faces turning toward me. I opened the manila folder. Megan's smile cracked. "What are you doing?" Patricia was on her feet. "Francis, this is not the time or the place." "Patricia, you told me on Tuesday that this was just hair." My voice carried, not shouting, just clear. The way a voice carries when there's no noise competing. "You told me Wednesday I was nothing before this family. You told Daniel I was twisting things, so let me untwist them. Right here, in front of everyone." I turned to face the crowd. 50 faces. Janet Pruitt standing now. Megan's Instagram friends with phones half raised. Patricia's church group in a cluster near the lemonade. My daughter came home from this house last Sunday, wearing a pink bucket hat she'd never owned. Underneath it, a 2-inch cut above her ear and her hair chopped to the scalp. Her 14-inch braid was in a plastic bag. A woman near the front pressed her hand to her chest. She was 8 years old. I pulled the first page from the folder. This is a medical report from Dr. Elena Marsh, board-certified pediatrician. It documents a laceration on my daughter's scalp, caused by scissors, consistent with downward force near the ear. I held it up, turned it so the nearest row could read the letterhead. The church ladies leaned forward. One gasped. "This!" I pulled the second page. "This is a screenshot from Megan's Google Drive, a video file titled Cousin Glow Up Episode 4, Final Cut. Filmed in this house last Saturday at 4:47 p.m., the video shows Megan cutting my daughter's hair under a ring light, on camera, with a title card already designed. It was edited, exported, and ready for Instagram." Megan stepped forward. "That is private. You had no right to—" "You shared the folder with me, Megan. 2 years ago. You asked me to review a family montage for Thanksgiving. You never removed my access." She stopped. I pulled the third page. These are thumbnails of 6 photographs that were deleted from the shared family album after the cut. Even at thumbnail resolution, you can see my daughter holding her ear. You can see blood. The yard was silent. Somewhere behind the fence, a neighbor's sprinkler clicked on and off. Megan turned to Patricia. "Mom, do something." Patricia was white, then red. Her hands were fists at her sides. She looked at me, then at the 50 faces watching her, and something inside her cracked open. The thing she'd been holding back all week. "You were nothing before this family." She was screaming. Actually screaming. In front of her church group, her neighbors, her granddaughter's school friends' parents. "We took you in. We gave you everything. And this is how you repay us?" I didn't flinch. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't step back. Janet Pruitt stood up from her chair. Her voice was steady and carried across the yard. "Patricia, I've seen the photos. That child was bleeding." 3 more women stood. A school mom. Let her talk. A church member. "Patricia, sit down." A neighbor I didn't know. "Show us." The photos began to circulate. I handed the close-up of Lily's ear to Janet. She held it at arm's length, the way you hold something that physically hurts to look at, and passed it down the row. I could track its path through the crowd by the reactions. The sharp inhale, the head shake, the hand to the mouth. A man near the back, I think he was Chloe's soccer coach, said, "This happened to the little red-headed girl? Last weekend?" "Last Saturday," I said. "In this house. On camera." Megan's phone on the tripod was still recording. 300 strangers watching in real time, and 50 people in the yard, passing photographs of my daughter's wound over birthday cake plates. Megan grabbed for the manila folder. "Give me that. You can't show people my—" Daniel stepped between them. "Close. Megan, stop. Danny, she's ruining Chloe's birthday. She's ruining my life. You cut our daughter's hair to the scalp. While filming it. For Instagram." His voice was low, controlled. "You ruined this yourself." Megan backed into a chair and collapsed onto it. The crying started. Loud, gulping sobs. "I'm a single mom. I'm just trying to survive. Nobody understands how hard it is. I lost my sponsors. I lost my income. I was trying to make something work. For half a breath I saw it. The real Megan underneath the ring light. Exhausted. Desperate. Broke. A woman whose entire financial identity depended on how many strangers double-tapped her content. Then she looked up at me through wet eyes and said, "If you had just let me use Lily in the videos, none of this would have happened." Any sympathy vanished. She wasn't sorry for cutting my daughter. She was sorry I hadn't cooperated. Patricia was still on her feet, voice ragged. "This is family business. Everyone needs to leave." Nobody moved. A church lady in a blue cardigan. "Patricia, we all need to see those photographs." I handed the printout of Lily's wound, ruler beside the cut, dried blood, scalp visible, to Janet Pruitt. She looked at it for 3 seconds, passed it to the woman beside her. It traveled down the row, heads shaking, hands over mouths. Megan's phone was still on the tripod. The red light was still blinking. The live stream was still running. She'd forgotten to turn it off. In the chat, someone typed, "Wait, what is happening? Are those real photos?" Another, "Is that blood on a kid?" 340 people watching. I didn't look at the tripod. I didn't look at Megan or Patricia. I turned to face the crowd. I didn't come here to destroy anyone's birthday. I came because last Sunday, my 8-year-old daughter asked me if she was in trouble. She thought she'd done something wrong because an adult cut her hair and told her it wasn't fair. I let that settle. I've filed a report with Child Protective Services. I've filed for an emergency protective order restricting unsupervised contact between Megan and my daughter. I didn't want to do either of those things. I had to. Because when I asked this family to address what happened, I was told it's just hair. I turned to Patricia. She was standing by the cake table breathing hard, mascara streaked. "You said I was nothing before this family. You're right. I was a foster kid. I had no one. I know exactly what it feels like to have nobody protect you." I kept my voice level. That is precisely why I will never let my daughter feel that. Not for 1 second. I picked up the manila folder, picked up the pink bucket hat from the chair where I'd set it when we arrived, held both. "Daniel, we're leaving." We walked to the gate, through the yard, past the balloons and the streamers and the 3-tier cake with 8 candles already melted down. Nobody stopped us. Patricia was shouting something I didn't turn around to hear. Megan was sobbing. But 50 people were silent, and sometimes silence is the loudest verdict a community can deliver. By the time I pulled into our driveway, the internet had already started doing its work. Megan's accidental live stream peaked at 340 viewers, at least a dozen recorded clips. They spread across local Facebook groups by Saturday night. Not because I shared them, not because Daniel shared them, but because 50 people at a birthday party watched a woman scream, "You were nothing," at the person holding medical evidence of a child's injury. By midnight, Megan's follower count dropped from 78,000 to 61,000. Her last remaining sponsor, a local boutique called Sage and Ivy, posted a one-line statement. "We are no longer affiliated with it. Megan makes it work." Patricia called Daniel 7 times between 9 p.m. and midnight. He didn't pick up once. My phone stayed dark. I posted nothing, shared nothing, tagged no one. I picked Lily up from Dara's house at 8. She'd eaten waffles and watched a movie about a dog who rides a surfboard. She was smiling. I put her to bed that night in her own pajamas, in her own room, in the house I'd bought with my own savings. Her hair was coming in soft, a half-inch of copper fuzz that caught the nightlight. Some things grow back, some don't. 2 weeks later, here's what the numbers looked like. CPS closed their initial investigation with a formal warning on Megan's record. No criminal charges, but the file exists. If another incident occurs, with any child, not just Lily, it escalates automatically. The emergency protective order was granted by a family court judge on the following Tuesday. Megan is prohibited from unsupervised contact with Lily. Drop-offs, pickups, visits, a third adult must be present. Megan agreed without contesting. Sarah Whitfield said that was smart. I said it was the first smart decision Megan had made all month. Patricia went quiet. No Sunday dinner invitations, no group texts, No calls. 3 women from her church group told Daniel they needed space from Patricia for a while. One of them, the woman in the blue cardigan, sent me a card. No message inside. Just her phone number and the words, "If you need anything." Megan's Instagram went private the following Monday. The Cousin Glow Up series was deleted entirely. Her follower count settled at 54,000 and kept dropping. She has not posted in 14 days. Daniel moved into the guest room for 1 week at my request, then moved back. We started couples therapy, not because he's forgiven, but because he wants to learn how to stop defaulting to his mother's version of events. Our therapist is a woman named Dr. Reed who asks questions nobody in the Holbrook family has ever been asked, like, whose feelings are you managing right now, and why? I filed a formal request with Lily's school. Only Daniel and I may pick her up. No other family member without written authorization signed by both parents. Chloe started school counseling after her teacher noticed she performs for every camera she sees. Classroom tablets, assembly recordings, even security monitors. The counselor called Megan in for a conference. Megan was required to attend a parenting awareness class as part of the CPS recommendation. I didn't get an apology from Megan. I didn't get one from Patricia. And for the first time in 9 years, I didn't need one. Lily's hair is 3 inches long now. It's coming back curly. She wears it with a blue headband she picked out herself at the drugstore. She stood in the accessories aisle for 11 minutes, choosing. 11 minutes of a child exercising authority over her own appearance. I timed it and smiled and didn't rush her once. Last Tuesday she asked me, "Mommy, when my hair gets long again, can I decide who touches it?" "Always," I said. "It was always yours." I spent 26 years believing that any family was better than no family. I married into one. I sat at the end of the table for 9 years. I smiled through the redhead comment and every plate Patricia set farthest from her own. Because I thought that was the cost of belonging. It's not. Belonging doesn't ask you to hide your daughter's blood under a pink hat. And if it does, it was never belonging. It was just proximity to people who needed an audience more than they needed a family. That's my story. 1 pink bucket hat, 1 manila folder, and a mother who finally stopped sitting at the end of the table. If this reminded you that protecting your child is never an overreaction, share it with someone who needs to hear that. Drop a comment, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.